All right. Well, I think that's it for tonight, though. Uh, not gonna go on for too much longer. It is getting late for Jamie. Jamie, thank you for staying up really late for us.
No problem, because tonight was the night I could do it, so I'm
Mhm.
super happy that I got to stay up.
Yeah, I'm glad we made a lot of progress. Even though we didn't beat the class, I think I think we can probably try again next time. It wouldn't take too long. But I know that the next gates are gonna take a while because they are they're getting long. I would just say we're about to get into the 20s. So oh, this one's a maybe. Interesting. But yeah, no, we can we'll next time because like next week. Okay, so I will say update this weekend is literally the last weekend I'll be doing any streams for for a little bit because next week, one we won't be doing any of the Dragon Warrior Monsters playthrough. Thanks, Andre. I hope you have a good rest too. But yeah, so next weekend we won't do any Dragon Warrior Monsters because Will is currently going to be gone, and so we won't be able to do any of that streams. I know that starting Friday of next week, which is Labor Day weekend in the U.S., but into those terms, to other people who don't have Labor Day weekend, it is the 1st of September to the 4th. I will be going to PAX West as per usual with Mike, Sean, and Carl. We're going to be having fun there in the new convention hall in Washington. So we're going to see how that goes.
Oh,
Uh,
there's a new one?
Yep, the new one. They had it built last year, and I think SakuraCon earlier this year. Yeah, earlier this year was the first like big convention to go into that convention hall. So now there's two convention halls in Seattle.
Oh my. That's
Yeah,
gonna cause some
it costs
interesting problems.
it costs a lot of it costs a lot of money. Yeah. Um, I do. So that's that. I will give a heads up, Jamie, so you can relay this to Chris.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, D&D is not happening on Sunday because I know that Lissa says she is basically not going to be available this Sunday.
You got it.
So we're not going to have D&D for another 2 weeks at least.
Okay.
I think 2 weeks. I think we no, it might be 3 weeks because I
Because I
think
do know Labor Day weekend, Chris and I will not even be in the area.
I mean I'm not going to be available anyway. I think the 17th of September is like the first day we can actually try to do a D&D session. Because I think the September 10th is a day that I think Lissa says she might be busy too. So that's unfortunate, is all.
No worries. I'll let Chris know.
But Jamie, if you're free tomorrow, we can play some games together. Okay?
Maybe I do know we are doing a lot tomorrow. I may be too worn out because lack of caffeine and just loud squeaks.
I mean that's fine. Um, Will, you're gonna be free tomorrow too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think James should be getting on like later today, cause like later that day, cause he's gonna be working. Um, I know that Sunday I'm still free on Sunday, so if there's still things you want to do, Jamie, together, I don't know if we have any games that we could do together outside of maybe like Overcooked. I
I
know
know
that.
there's. Oh, let's see. I will look into my library quickly before bed.
Yeah, I know.
'Cause
I
I
know.
do have a library.
I know that Overcooked. I know that Kyle could join, but I think James is not available for that. So
That's the wrong button. That's the
yeah,
one.
it's not much we could do.
Um, I have a new setup, so it would technically work better than some of my previous stuff now.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. There is. What games do I have that you might have? R2 player. I know Stardew Valley, but that may not be a good streaming game.
Pretty boring.
I like Elder Scrolls, but that's also not multiplayer.
Swat this fly.
I'm gonna have to get back into playing Stardew Valley on my Switch.
Oh yeah, no. My son's gotten obsessed with farming games. His big thing is getting the pink cow and Harvest Moon.
I do know that Bloody Trapland is something I know Lisa and I have been trying to tackle. I know that Pico Park was a game that I know that Chris, you, I, and I think James played randomly, and Will possibly joined for that. But that one, like, as long as Overcooked requires like other people, so I don't think there's many games that you and I could play outside of that, outside of maybe like some Switch games. But yeah,
I'm just trying to figure out multiplayer cooperative. Let's see. Okay, there we go. That narrows it down. Let's see. I got Cast, Among Us,
Yeeves.
Origami, Bark.
Andre Bear. Oh yeah, Andre has animated emotes. Oh man, do I have those?
Castle. Do you have Castle Crashers?
I mean, we actually played it and streamed it.
Oh
Yeah.
right, we did. That's why I have it.
You do. Man, do I don't? Oh yeah, no, I have it. Even I have the. Oh man, I didn't even know that he had that. Dang, Andre should have told me that. Also, how are you doing, Yves? Yeah, we're ending off.
What about
How you been doing?
Raft? I have Raft. But we've already beaten.
We've
Raft.
beaten Raft. Yeah, I'm doing good. Just at work. How are you? I've been doing fine. We've got through a lot in terms of like gaming on Dragon Warrior Monsters. Has been a little bit. I do know that Baldur's Gate is a game that I wanted to get for a little bit.
Yeah, I have Baldur's Gate Enhanced Edition and Baldur's Gate 2.
Oh, you have? Oh no, you don't have Baldur's Gate 3 though.
I do not. Chris does.
I know Chris does because I've seen him hold it up.
I have Don't Starve.
I do have Don't Starve, I think.
I do not start. Rather, Don't Starve together.
I've been
I am terrible at it. Like really, really, really bad though.
I actually I went back to some old games, Yves. I actually finally finished up Tokyo Mirage Sessions half E Encore on the Switch. To the point as much as I really care about it because I beat it once. I could do a new playthrough and all that stuff, but it was just like it was long enough that I consider that as a done beat game, and I've finally beat Soul Silver by beating Red because that was another game I wanted to do. So I actually completed like two of the games I've been holding off on a while, and so I've been wanting to do other games on my list to get through, and I still haven't beat some of them. I know that for a fact. But yeah, I know that Baldur's Gate 3 has been interesting to me, and I've been wanting to play it on my like Steam Deck, honestly, to try it just for fun. But it costs $60.
Yeah, that's why I haven't grabbed it. I don't have pretty much with the way my gaming habits have been lately. It's not something I could put the money toward just with justification.
I know that Lissa is interested in it, and I know that James could be interested in it. I think he's trying to upgrade his PC before he gets playing that. Everyone out here playing that game, and yeah, I'm probably not gonna buy it. I mean, like, I'm only interested in it because I hear all the memes and stuff, but also like what I really liked about what brought me more into the game is the developers really passionate about the game and purposely did not put any microtransaction or like focus on finishing the game. Like,
Nick, have you seen that viral video that's gone around about the Baldur's Gate 3 of the four gnome barbarians?
no, I have not seen that.
I need to have Chris send it to you because I don't have. Wait, did he send me a copy of that video? Give me like 3 seconds.
Gnome barbarians.
some of your ideas for the campaign.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Chris got it essentially confirmed.
Confirmed about what?
You know how you want to toss people?
Yeah.
Like, really, really want to toss people?
Yeah. Yeah.
You can toss people and make a chain gang of just tossing people.
Ooh. You could, well, actually, you can only play Baldur's Gate up to 4 people, right?
Yes.
I was hoping that we can have more people, so I could just be like chain gang all the time.
Yeah, no, but there's just these 4 gnome barbarians just tossing each other around to do more damage. Like weapons.
Yeah, I heard that it actually listened to community, and I'm not sure if it's my style of game. I'm not 100% certain if it's a game that I will fully play on my own. It definitely seems like a game that I would rather play with people, but I also feel like it's a game that I could have some fun with, being it set in the D&D world. But yeah, it's $60. It's that game. I know Hi-Fi Rush is another game I've heard really good things about.
Oh,
And
I have Derp. That's right. I forgot I had it. I have Blackwake.
oh yeah, that thing has lost support now, cause
I know.
yeah. Oh, yeah, we've done moving out a little bit. I know that me, Will, and James did it. Or did Chris join us on that one? I think so, maybe.
I think so.
Yeah, no, I think.
That's like something I've heard of cackling about from a distance.
Oh, there's a new Human Fall Flat. Oh, okay, there's a new Human Fall Flat. I need to go back to bring James in. Hi-Fi Rush was.
Heading to bed though. It's 11:30. I
Yeah.
lost time.
No worries. Get some rest, Jamie, and we'll chat later for sure. Have a good night.
Bye.
Take care. Oh,
Bye.
well, Jamie, if you and Chris join tomorrow, I might try to see if I can get some people for Project Winter, maybe? Question mark.
That I do have.
Yeah.
I am still terrible at it.
I mean,
I'm
all
not-
of us are. I'll see my best if I can get some people to Project Winter, but no guarantees. All right.
Alright, I will talk to Chris. I can't promise anything because we may be just dead.
That's fine. I'll just see what I can do. All right.
Yeah, there's gonna be a lot of socializing tomorrow, and Chris and I are still hermits.
Mm-hmm. Makes sense. All right. Have a good night, Jamie.
Have a good night. Stay safe, everybody.
You too. Bye. Hi-Fi Rush was fun, but a pain. Rhythm game shooters in general can be a pain at a point. Yeah, no, that can be a pain, but I was interested in it because like its style looks really fun. It kind of reminds me of Jet Set Radio, but I never played those games before, so I'm like interested to see how it is. And I always heard that it was like one of those surprising hits in recent times that I didn't even hear about it until it got released, and then be like people were talking about it and being like, oh, this game is like one of the best games I've ever played. That's why I was like, it sounds interesting. Like, there's that game, Neon White. I heard of that game before, and I think, yeah, no, I've heard of it, just heard of that game. Neon White was a game I was interested in trying. And then there was another.
I'm gonna head off.
Sounds good, Will. I'll chat with you later.
I'll chat with you later. I'll see you tomorrow.
Yep, I'll see.
I'll try to. Yep.
I'll see you
hop
tomorrow.
on.
All right, no worries.
I just re-downloaded Project Winter because I heard what you said.
Yeah, I'll see. I can contact some people, and I'll see if we can actually get some people. If we can get at least 5 people, then we have like a session.
So, well, I still re-downloaded it just in case.
Sounds good. All right, take care. Have a good night.
Good night.
All right, I'm just gonna end there on that call. The style is awesome, and Neon White is great to speedrunning aspect. Oh yeah, I've been interested in. I like watching and interested in like how speedrunners play things, but I don't think I can find myself being a speedrunner. Mainly because like I like playing variety of games. I don't like to stick with games. I like when you play like a speedrun game, you have to really try it over and over to really get used to the gameplay and stuff. And I do have games that I really like and I was interested in speedrunning. Like, for example, the original Pikmin. I am interested in trying a randomizer of it, as well as like maybe speedrunning it, because it's one of my favorite games. But at the same time, do I really just want to spend time to speedrun the game? And that's the issue, is like, I don't know if I will end up hating myself to do that, because I would just be playing the game over and over. I also don't want to be known just being a speedrunner for playing like a certain game, even if I get that. So if I were to speedrun, I will literally just be doing it for fun, but I do not want to be known as a speedrunner. I'll just do it purely for entertainment. Ghost Runner is also one of those STEM types. Oh, I have that. I think Max gave me that Ghost Runner game, and I've been meaning to try it. I have it on my Steam Deck, and I haven't gotten to try it yet. Yeah, I still have my own Pikmin disc. You still have the Pikmin discs too? I have my brother's Pikmin discs behind me, and I own a copy of Pikmin 3 and 4. Like, I got my brother, both me and him, I got 3 and 4. And funny enough is that like, I still remember playing, because yeah, Pikmin is a franchise that I own almost every single copy of Pikmin in all of its forms, because I own Pikmin 1 and like I have Pikmin 1 and 2 on the GameCube. I have Pikmin 1 and 2 on the Wii U eShop. I have Hey Pikmin physical. I don't have it the digital, but I consider still the same. And then I have Pikmin 3 physical, both on the Wii U and like the Switch. And then I have Pikmin 4. I got Pikmin 1 and 2, and that's about it. I still like Pikmin 3 and 4. I think 4 is definitely the step in the right direction for Pikmin game. It's like still a step in the right direction, but it's not fully there, because they didn't add some aspects into 3 that I like the big boss battles, like boss battles. Like, they added a lot of like old bosses from like previous 1 and 2. And like even a little bit of 3, but those are like the I wouldn't say like area bosses. There was just like the kind of like the simple level bosses. Like they if you remember in 2, like how each sub level, like when you get to the last sub level, there's that boss. It's kind of like that feeling where they are bosses, but they're just really hard enemies once you get past a certain point. Pikmin 3 had like these area bosses that had like special cutscenes and literally special arenas designed for each of those bosses. And that's why I felt like those area bosses, I think what Pikmin 4 missed is that what made it really cool. That's interesting. I never bought any new console really after original Wii, and I might, maybe one day I'll get 3 and 4. Yeah, I would recommend Eves try Pikmin 3 at least. I like Pikmin 3. If you've already beaten 1 and 2, Pikmin 3 would be pretty much a breeze for you. I would definitely say Pikmin 3 is is easy for a lot of veterans. I enjoyed it because, again, like the bosses felt really cool. The areas and like some of the unique enemies felt really nice. It's definitely like a good intro game to Pikmin. Like, if I were to compare 3 in Pikmin series, 3 would definitely be compared to 1. Like, that's like the intro, kind of like an intro feeling game into the series, and it kind of has that like time crunch of 1 a little bit, because you're on like food and you take up 1 bottle each day. So it's not hard if you're a veteran, but it's definitely has that kind of 1 feeling. So it's not too hard too. Obviously 3 is the more 3 on Switch is the more complete package. They got a little extra stuff on there and some challenge mode and stuff. So Switch 1, if you I would still recommend getting a Switch, Eves, because like there's a lot of great games. 4 is definitely compared to 2. Like, if 3 is compared to 1, 4 is compared to 2. because 4 had brought back the dungeons, it brought back a lot of the enemies, it brought back some of the difficulty. It's like a love letter to a lot of Pikmin fans. Like, if you grew up with 1 and 2, it's literally like a love letter to the Pikmin fans, and I enjoyed it. There's some shortcomings. Again, I mentioned it is a little bit, doesn't go all the way in certain areas, but I still think it's a pretty good step. I will consider getting a Switch. I mean, I could just buy one, just not sure if there are many games I would play on it. I mean, that's fine. You may not be able to like consider playing all the games on Switch, but you can't deny though, Yves. The Switch has a lot of support and like various games on it. It's freaking getting Red. It has Red Dead on the Switch, like the original one, even though that's like a really expensive port, and it's getting backlash of all things. So honestly, I was like, you could probably find like a handful of games on the Switch, and you could still, I would say that makes the Switch pretty worth it in your books. I definitely say Pikmin 3 and 4. I 100%ed both of those. Are really good, and I had a lot of fun with them. So and also like 1 and 2 is also on Switch, which I plan to get the physical copy when it comes out in September anyway. So I'll buy all copies of 1 and 2. I'll even buy. I'm planning to find the copies, cheaper copies of 1 and 2 on the Wii in America, sometime there. I might as well. That's cool. They bring out the old titles on. Dude, Yves. No joke. If you look on YouTube or like Twitch or any content creating site, you get to see people's very first time playing Pikmin, because 1 and 2 were put on Switch, and when they were put on Switch, it was like a more flooded response than 3, like for first time Pikmin players. Like, I was like I'm not trying to judge people. I just find it more entertaining that people are now experiencing what, like, the demonic powers of 1 and 2 do to players. Like, I just see people being like, "Oh, this is an easy game, insta death with this 1," and then just be like, in 2, the dungeons of, like, you know how like the bomb rocks fall, random enemies fall, all that stuff, electricity just insta kills. I'm just like, yeah, that's Pikmin 2. That is straight up Pikmin 2, and I'm just seeing so many clips of that, and I'm just like, there's like people are just being shocked. It's like, they just straight up just be like, this can't be a game kind of thing. It was hard back then until you get the hang of it. Yeah, no, I know my brother and I save scummed, but we still managed to do like a Pikmin deathless run twice in Pikmin 2. I mean, we save scummed a lot, especially in the later dungeons for sure. But we managed to do it. I'm pretty sure I could do like a Pikmin mostly deathless run, if not most deathless run, without save scumming so much as we did back in it, because I still remember all the tips and tricks I've done with the game. It's just yeah, no, it's just difficult, and yeah, it's hard, and yeah, no, it's like if you look up online, it's all that stuff. I mean, I am more than fine playing Pikmin 1 and 2 again. I freaking beat Pikmin 1 in 1 day. I bought it on the Wii U a long time ago, and I was just like, I'll just play this, and then after a few hours, I beat Pikmin 1, and I just told my brother. I texted my brother and me like, yeah, I beat Pikmin 1, and he just laughed at it, just be like, heh. And yeah, no, the Pikmin 1 is so short, but I can again, I think I could invest time to speedrun the game. It's short enough that I wouldn't lose my attention span too fast. And I like the game, I really do, and I don't think some of the tricks are so difficult for me that I can't do them. but again, like it goes back to the speedrunning thing. It's like I don't want to just invest time to just one game all the time. I just want to have fun, which is why I go with Pikmin 1's like randomizer stuff. Yeah, but Pikmin 2, I still have a soft spot for Pikmin 2. Ooh, and if I were to pick a favorite Pikmin game, I still think I picked Pikmin 2 over 4 though, because it didn't have that many Pikmin compared to 4. And after a certain point, Pikmin 4 like they utilize all the Pikmin in certain ways, but they don't utilize them enough to a point where like I did feel like some of the challenges were just lost after you just use a certain Pikmin all the time. So yeah, no, it's like, does it get, no, I would say it doesn't get repetitive. Like they did a really good job with the areas, with what your objectives are, and they have like so many like extra stuff. Like they have the Dundori battles, which are difficult even with the AI. I aced all of it. I platinum all of that stuff, even the challenge stuff, timed and everything. I didn't find it repetitive. The dungeons didn't feel as repetitive as like 2 did. Like you know how many of the later dungeons they were using like the same layouts and everything and all that stuff. Every dungeon you go down is unique. It did feel like some of the dungeons in 4 were short and they could have gone a little bit longer, or like not as big as 2 in dungeons. But no, I wouldn't call Pikmin 4 repetitive. It definitely had a lot of unique challenges, is what I'd say. Like, there is like, even in the trailers, they said that nighttime mode in Pikmin 4, which again, which is first you can play in Pikmin, you can actually play at night, and that is like, that was a challenge. Well, it wasn't a challenge for me until like the last levels, because at that point then I had to actually really actively use my brain a lot more to deal with those. But yeah, no, Pikmin 4 didn't feel repetitive. I still like Pikmin 2. I don't know. I don't know if I'm a masochist or what. But Pikmin 2 was definitely it just felt better in certain ways. I guess like because like I like purple Pikmin so much that because like in Pikmin 4 they what was it? Pikmin 4, purple Pikmin don't have the impact anymore. Stinking fly. Where's that stinking fly? That's good. I feel you. It has a soft spot. I don't remember a lot of 1 and 2. It's been so many years. I mean, that's fine. Maybe you should go back and play them again. I definitely like the Wii versions of Pikmin 1 and 2 are better, because the Wii pointer, because like the cursor for the GameCube one, you have a set limit where you go, but with the Wii pointer, you can actually point further than the cursor, and you can actually throw your Pikmin further than the cursor would normally allow. So if you want to emulate it, I would recommend using the Wii controls if you can get that to work. Obviously you would need like a Wiimote connect to your computer or whatnot, but I definitely say it's a lot more worth. I tried it on the Wii U. I haven't tried Pikmin 2 on the Wii U, but yeah, no, it's just a lot more entertaining in those ways. But yeah, Pikmin 4 is pretty good. I say like it's hard for me to list the rank the Pikmin games outside of Hey Pikmin, because I haven't tried that yet, at least not in full, because each of them bring a unique feel to the series. Because Pikmin 1 had the daytime day system and had the like parts, but it's so clunky. It aged poorly because a lot of the stuff is just, it's clunky. It's pretty unforgiving with a lot of the enemies, so, but it can be a little bit glitchy. So one is like that child, like that old timer that's like stuck in the past a little bit. And then there is the second game, which is just like I only recommend for veterans because just how difficult it gets. But it did a lot of great quality of life, which is still good to this day. 3 is just like too easy, but it's a great entry for like newcomers. And I love the graphics, the style, and what they did with a lot of the things, including like the bosses. And 4 is, again, like 4, it's just like 2, but it made it more accessible to newcomers, and it just added a lot more. There's something I could use if they are wireless controllers and can connect with them to the PC. I mean that's fine. You just need to figure out the motion. I heard that one way that people use is like use their like phones and stuff for like the motion controls and everything. And I'm just like, huh. I didn't think that could be possible, but apparently that is a thing. So you can try. Yeah, there's a thing called 8-bit do. Oh yeah, it works. And then you control pretty much including Switch and Wii U. Yeah, I actually have that. I have that USB stick adapter. At least that one, and I think I might have another one. I don't recall if I have both, but I know I have the USB brick one. It has the texture of the brick, like Mario and stuff like that. And I know I have it. I don't know where it is. It's somewhere I think in my closet. So yeah, there's a decent bit of them out there. Yeah, it's 8-bit do. Yeah, I have 8-bit do. I use their controllers. Like, I mean, they're the controllers that for the analog stuff I use. Like this one for my SNES one. I have like this one and like the European one because I like that colors better. And whatnot. Oh, I turned it on. Yeah, and I have like all the controllers stuff, so I buy a lot of analog stuff because they're limited. They are good quality, but my god, they're expensive. Again, I have, funny enough, it's like I already paid for a $500 console before Series X and PS5 came out, and then it's like it is probably way more expensive now because of the secondhand market. It's used, but it's with the secondhand market, it's probably could still go up to like 600, 700 because I have the limited edition NT Noir analog one, and that was like a limited run. Man's Gaming. I'm a gamer. I like to get some of the highest quality stuff as I can, even some of the fan-made stuff. Prices I wish didn't matter to me as much, but I still, yeah. That's why I'm hesitant and I'm buying consoles these days. Well, PC is just easier. I mean, yeah, no, I agree. PC is just easier for a lot of things, which is why I like PC, but I mean, I like gaming with retro games. I like the feels of the old retro games. I like the I like the ideas of retro games being played on the original consoles, cause it just feels good to me. Like this is why it took me so long to play some DS and 3DS games, because this new 3DS can actually play every single game on the DS to 3DS library, and is a capture card. And I've been so grateful for this because I actually can play it without using emulations because I don't want to do that. And then it's like there's other handhelds I don't have, but I would get eventually. It's a different vibe. Yeah, it's a different vibe, and that's why I've been holding out on certain Wii U games, because I want to showcase what the gamepad has, because it can be interesting, because each of the stuff is a different experience, and it's like you can do it on emulation, you can put them all over on your screen, but it doesn't, you're just clicking. When you actually hold the consoles in hand and you actually see it, it just feels different. Yeah, so I that's what I want to do when I stream and stuff, and content create. It's just like I want to do that. Yeah, which is again, like I want to get a gamepad capture card. It's been one of my goals for a long time. There was a site I saw, but it took so long that they stopped developing the chips for the Wii U gamepad, which I would have been able to just find someone to solder stuff. And I'm so upset because I was gonna buy it at some time, like more recently, and I'm so upset now. And now it's like I don't want to ask anybody randomly because either they charge me too much, because I don't want to pay like over $100 for these, because like they used to sell like those for like $100 outside of shipping because they were in Japan and all that. And I don't want to pay for it. I want to find someone who really knows how to do a gamepad capture card, but gives me at a very reasonable price, like around $100. I mean, I can haggle a little bit more, like be haggled a little bit more, but I don't want to be paying like over $200, $300 just for a custom Wii U pad. Like, at that point, I would rather just figure it out by myself than at that point. And then that's just, yeah. Yeah, Skull. It is one of those things that I do want to get capture cards for a lot of the systems, and there are ways to get capture cards for a lot of the systems in different ways of it, like my GBA players and all that stuff. But I don't want to go outside of the original methods, and that's why it's like with some methods, like with the GameCube, it's like I could use the I use the Game Boy player, and I have like the MK Eon like 2 MK2 Eon on my GameCube, which is really nice because it loses the latency for a lot of things and it just makes it as high quality as possible. So yeah, that's why it's like with a lot of the consoles, I know there's options to like capture everything. And I know handhelds a lot harder, like the PSP and all that stuff, and like but other consoles, like component cable wise, like even like PS2 or whatever, like those 3 component cables, or 5 depending on if you're Xbox 360 or PS3 original, there are capture cards that can use the component cable. So it's like I know there's methods. And there are methods possibly for them. I just need to figure out and invest them. And it's only the methods that are extremely difficult. I'm glad that 3DS capture cards are getting more and more known. But a lot of people are asking for like $300, $500 for them. And I'm just like, that's just too much now. I don't think that's worth at that point, unless you're seriously gonna be like content creating with them, because at that point just get a regular 3DS and just enjoy what you got, or emulate it. Because again, like I don't think people should be spending so much money. I'm a weird one, but I don't think people should be spending so much money to get a certain like item just so they can do all that stuff. It sucks. Phantom might know. I sent the links to Fanto before, Queen, but no, he doesn't know as much research as I do, kind of thing, in terms of capture card units. I know for with 3DS and 3DS stuff, I have multiple copies. I do get multiple copies of capture cards when I can, because you never know when stuff breaks. Some stuff needs to be, because like it's technology. Like my HDMI cable that you guys missed earlier, I took like 10 minutes to figure it out because my HDMI cord just died. It just didn't work. I had to replace it really immediately with that one, and it was just like, there are a lot of times where technology would break and you don't know when they will break, and I hope they don't break. But when they break, you kind of need to be replaced. And that's unfortunate reality now we do it. So I just wish it was not as demanding of prices and everything. But yeah, that's like my little bit of rant of like capture cards and like other stuff. But I know I got like tangent with that. Um, but yeah, no, I'm a content creator that like tries to avoid using emulations as possible when it comes to content creation, unless there is like a unique thing that I want to do with it. And I again, like, that's very situational. I don't want to go into details with them because again, this is a live stream that's going to be saved and all that stuff. So all I'm just saying is, like, with the games and all the capture card stuff that can be expensive nowadays, being the way they are now, I don't disagree with people being like wanting to use emulation for things, and that's fine. I think I just say just use them reasonably, and yeah, and then don't do anything too illegal or just like, again, like, there's also the moral thing I want to do with myself. Is like, I don't want to emulate games that I don't have, because I want to, in a sense, support the developers that made each game. Even though the money, they're not going to the game developers. They're going straight to other people who own the game's pockets. Yeah. But I want to get the games to support the developer because they made the game in a certain way, and I want to have them experiencing the game that they made it with. So, like, the system and everything. So that's just my thing. And very specific reasons where I would use emulation, but that's, again, very specific reasons. Still would probably get the controllers still for at least the more authentic experience, and that's what I would do too, Yves. Like, I would get, like, if I didn't have a proper GameCube, I would just be like, use at least a GameCube controller, because I know you can connect a GameCube controller to a computer with an adapter or like a Bluetooth, like you said, 8-bit do, and play that authentic experience. I mean, Andre does that, or to some degree. I know that Fanto does that too, and that's where I'm just like, I would get the, I'll use the controllers to at least get feel of the authentic experience, and it does really do a difference when you, because, like, I know some games are just built with on the system in mind, but sometimes they actually authentically use the controllers in mind, and that's where I'm just like, it just really feels different. Oh god, stupid fly. Because, like, I'll say, for example, with like Metroid Prime on the GameCube, it's a first-person shooter on the GameCube, but on a GameCube controller, you would normally think this uses the camera, but this doesn't really do the camera. This one, I believe it does something else. But on modern day shooters, if I were to play it like on an Xbox controller, because, like, I'm so used to using this bigger analog stick that is not the C stick of this, like, GameCube one, this does not feel right, because they designed the game around this controller, not this controller, and I'm just like, it doesn't feel right if I don't use the right controller, because it just, one, it will mess up your head a little bit, because you would think a few things would be different. I mean, I've learned that with, like, playing Ocarina of Time Majora's Mask, because, like, I would always think, like, Zelda, because, like, that was on the N64, and they had a weird controller, and I was like, I would constantly use, like, again, we use the pro controllers of, like, Switches for, like, to use around, but because this is using the C buttons, it ruins my feeling of it, because I can't, I'm so used to specific controllers doing certain things. That's why it's like, it's so weird to try it. And then And the same thing goes with like GoldenEye. GoldenEye cannot be played. Like the original GoldenEye cannot be played with any other controller because it's just way too designed to be on around the N64 controller. I never beaten the original GoldenEye from start to finish. I played the Wii version of the GoldenEye, and that will be always my child. I actually not too long ago beat the Reloaded version, which honestly, I don't know what I want to say. It kind of feels worse than the Wii version in certain ways because it was first developed on Wii and they just tacked on a shiny plastic filter for Reloaded and it just looks worse in my opinion. It doesn't feel the best, but on the Wii it just feels better. That's where it's like games just designed on the consoles should stay sometimes on the consoles. Because it's just my opinion. I would love to do like a review of that if I ever had the attention span and like the ideas to do something like that. But that's like I'm saying though it's a different experience. Yeah, it's definitely a different experience. I do like certain games and all that stuff. So it's definitely oh yeah, it's definitely it was fun. And definitely like I would say like if you are able to play the games with the controllers and systems in mind if you can. Cuz that way it just feels that way you can at least see how it was designed with. Well, yeah, no, that's why I like, and also in some games, Yves, I actually get them for specific consoles because that's what they either originally made for, or I just feel like they feel better on this set of consoles. That's what I do with like the PS5, Xbox, and like Switch for those consoles. Like there's some games like Elden Ring, for example, that I know can be played on Xbox or PC, but I know it was developed on PS5 first. And I was just like, it just feels more unique to be put on the PS5. And then there's other games that I feel like should be put on the PC, Xbox, or on Switch if they're on all consoles. And just like, this just feels better. I don't know. That's just my thing too. Try to avoid buying multiple versions of games. But I end up still doing it nowadays because that's just my thing. Ugh. Lamau, yeah. I mean that is just how I go about it, really. But yeah, no, I'd love to talk more about games, but can't say anything. Too many. I can't say anything. I have too many games. I mean, you and I have too many games on Steam. I've been trying to dumb it down a little bit. Actually, fun enough, Yves, I actually have like games I was thinking of playing because I actually upgraded my graphic card to a 3060 because Biz gave me a 3060 in return of some other things. So I was like, you know what, I'll take it. And it's funny because I have an APC, which an APC is a unit that is like a backup battery onto a outlet, so if any time a search happens, you can actually save your electronics from dying right away. You can turn them all off. Also, Frog, what's up? Random sound effect. Let's see. I didn't even get to hear that in my ear. I think that was. That makes sense. Cool. Yeah. Oh, there we go. Yeah. There you go, Frog. Hope you're doing. Hi. I just woke up low. Yeah, you've been streaming at like odd hours for me. I've been trying to sleep earlier for me, so I couldn't catch many of your streams. But if I ever do, I'll pop in and say hi. 3 p.m. I wish it was 3 p.m. my time. It's already 10 p.m. for me. But yeah, going on my story, Yves. I have my APC, and my computer's on it. And it's an old APC. I had it since like 3 years ago at least. And that graphics card is my first ever upgraded graphics card. And so when I tried launching games I already have that I know I used to play, like Borderlands 3, for example. I used to play it on my 1660 Ti. Funny enough, it started beeping, which means that it's drawing more power than it can charge. So the graphics card specifically is causing my APC unable to keep up with the power. So I'm just like, oh, I now need to upgrade my APC, which at this point, it's like, I basically said, like, I'm not playing any powerful games until I get a new APC, which means Borderlands is now off the table for me for a little bit. And, like, luckily, all, like, streaming and, like, other games I can play can be played. I just don't want to deal with the beeping. And so once I get a new APC, which is sometimes this Black Friday I was thinking of, because I got Best Buy gift cards and stuff, I'm just going to buy it and do an upgrade for that APC. So I'm just like, screw it, I'm just gonna have to do it. I didn't stream last night and yesterday, working on coding and stuff. Oh, dude, that's nice. Are you coding with, like, for some bot stuff, Frog, or what's your coding stuff? I'm good with just the power surge protector. I mean, that's fine, Yves. I do it because I know when I was at my dad's place, I oversurged my room a lot. So I needed to save my computer from time to time. And then when I was in my apartments, like my last one and then this one, I was surging here and there. So it's like I needed to have an APC in case of things like that happen. Because I have a lot of electronics. I'm a gamer, dude. I have like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I would say about 10-ish consoles on this, and I got all my PC and stuff. Like, my room is electronic up. Basically, I learned what an else and if statement is, and I had a lot of ideas. Dude, really? Cool. I can always, I was actually thinking, Frog, there was like times where I was thinking maybe I could do a stream of teaching people computer science stuff. And I think I would be okay at it, but I'm not confident in my teaching skills because there are certain things about it that I would need to research and relearn a few things. But yeah, else if statements are great. Wait till you learn about switch statements, Frogs, and else if statements. Like, they're really handy in containing codes because you also shouldn't do more than like a lot of else if statements, nesting else if statements, as all that stuff too, because that just shows more signs of like unoptimized code. So you will learn basic terms with else ifs, and you just need to make sure that you don't overload with a bunch of else ifs. You'll know what I mean when you get there, Frog, but for now, when you're a beginner, play around. I think I knocked out the power in my condo once when I decided to have both my old and new PC and some other thing. We know I knocked out surging power when I had like my AC that I currently have in my room, like right next to me, and my roommate, archaeologist Mike, has his own AC, and our rooms don't have like a built-in AC, so we have to get our own when it gets pretty hot here, and it just it overcharged our rooms because our rooms have the same circuit, so I need to do a lot of rewiring and stuff. I create bots with Python for work and stuff just to automate redundant tasks. It's pretty fun. Yep. Python is really easy to learn, but I hate that the spacings can be really, really picky because I've learned that in Python. But Python is also the language that a lot of machine learning uses, and I've done that before. I've done some machine learning in Python. Yeah, it's pain. At the moment, I have my card game set up properly, automated, so if a scene equals timeout card, Didn't break. Ah, okay. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, coding is fun when you get around to experimenting what you want to do. I would say have fun with it. Have fun with like whatever you do, Frog, and figure it out. But once you get dive deeper into coding, like Yves and I have done, it starts becoming some pain. I mean, I have a degree in computer science, so I know a lot of the pain because like I've studied it, I've done it, and it's a pain when the bug happens. I'm still making some stuff with Fanto that I've been on hold for a while because there's a lot of things just I am waiting on, and there's also waiting on me because I've been slacking on certain things too. But I do love coding. It just feels so rewarding when you actually get said thing done and actually is working properly. And you only get to experience the breaking or bugs when it becomes those like oversights that are either really, really rare or only happens after like a billion tests or something like that. It does feel rewarding, but actually getting it done can be a drag sometimes, so take your time. Yeah, no, it's a taking time. I think I still have, like, funny enough, if you know recursion, Yves, which I don't think Frog, if you don't know what recursion is, I can explain it in my layman terms. Because there's an easy, I believe I believe my explanation is a really good, easy way to understand what recursion is. Another cool one is if scene equals lose roles, then unvip if vip, or unmod user if mod user delay 6,000 milliseconds and so you just basically lose the roles, right? You feel stuck, sleep on it, and you'll I definitely have that times where I would be like, because like when I'm so close to something, like I'm just like it's like basically like in those moments where it's like you're so close, and it's like I've had times where I was like I look at it and it was like the result is almost there, like it's almost there, but I couldn't think of the thing, and it's like it's either late at night where I just I have to go to bed, which I hate doing, or I just be like I turn off a lot of things, I log out and I just like walk and do other things, and then I just come back in mindset, and then when I look at it, it's like it's just two new lines of code, and I'm just like, yeah. And then it's I've had that times, so I definitely just leaving your computer and not thinking about it for a time being really does help bring out the ideas of what you can do for programming. I have an idea to make fully interactive adventure in chat commands, but that's gonna take me a few days to full flesh it out. Well, yeah, you need to plan it out. Like, I know that there's like the thing of like object-oriented programming where you kind of like storyboard the program a little bit, making it into a modular piece of things where you have a start, finish, what's the other bricks and pieces you need to build said thing, like a storyboard again. Like it's almost like a beginning scene, ending scene, and then just storyboard it all the way out, and then you can start figuring out what steps to take in each area. Object-oriented is a really good subject to the only issue is like when I done object-oriented, it was a little bit rough on me, because I don't know, it was just the class that wasn't the best. This is gonna be find chat, finding all the infinity stones. Once they do, they get an option to snap. If they do, they'll time out half the chat for 5 minutes. Snap away my webcam. You should have an effect of where you actually it'll be funny, Frog, where you just like it'll be like you can snap away you, and if you snap away you can't talk or they can't see you for like 5 minutes, so they take away your mic. Like they all just turn off your mic complete, like, and then you just be like after 5 minutes, then they'll return on your mic. The code name at the moment is I'm inevitable, which I feel is fitting. I mean, yeah, there's that, but with code names though, you gotta make it like one-ish kind of word, no spaces, because coding with spaces is annoying as heck. With terminals, with coding, because names are just bleh. I know Yves, you know what I'm talking about with like spaces being a thing in coding. I don't know why spaces are just really always so annoying. Actually, one of my favorite things about coding Yves in Frog that I always like to joke around is like there's a language called whitespace where you only code using the spacebar, and how many times you press a spacebar determines what character you add into the line of code. So it's just one of those, like, it's that white space is always like a funny thing. It's just like if someone programmed a very complex program all in white space only, I will wholeheartedly congrats them as being one of the best programmers in the entire world. I code everything in StreamerBot, which is extremely straightforward, which is nice. There's an option for C# execution, or their if else if statements are all native, which is really cool. That's really cool. I'm glad that actually has a really straightforward programming in StreamerBot. Yes, it's annoying you could accidentally have misplaced space somewhere, but it won't tell you what's wrong with the code. Yeah, spaces are a thing. That's why Python, sometimes I hate Python. Well, I like and hate Python because I like how simplistic it is, but when it comes to Python, they won't tell you where you errored out with spaces, like indents and everything in Python, until you start compiling it, and it'll be like, oh, error. This line is not a function, and it's like, it's not a function, but it acts like a function because it's indented correctly. Okay, still VIP command I used to have. Ate it myself. C#. That was StreamBot 0.0.4, and the minimum option StreamBot is now at 0.2.1. Yeah, I remember that Steel VIP thing. I think I remember doing it with like Skull and stuff, and that was funny. Python, I feel like, is mainly good for bots or simple games like VNs. I mean, that, and is also a machine learning material used. Luckily, because like with Python, a lot of the machine learning stuff is already within Python, so using it for that type of stuff is always good. It's not always easy, but it's better than nothing. Yeah, machine learning is a thing, but yeah, no, it is it's good for bots, yeah, and like some simple games. I remember, I think I made like a chess game with Python. It was super simple. That's also true, yeah. Let's see. It's definitely, Python is such a unique language, really. Like, I like it, I don't like it. Like, the only language that I have more relaxed feelings for is Java, and all the other simpler ones. Because C, like regular C programming, that's hardware programming, and you have to make a lot of things from scratch. I never hated C++, but it's such a weird language. And then there's like C#, which is mainly for gaming, which both is mediocre, it's fine. And Python is just like, it's like, if you have incorrect spacing, it's not right. Be simple or as advanced you really want to be, which is good. That's why I always say, like, in terms of programming, I find Java and Python to be like the easiest intro level programs because they're super simple. Because Java's not as simple as Python can be, but it's a more friendly intro level program to get into. It's like, it's a bit steeper to learn than Python, but Python also has the tendency of like, oh, like it doesn't tell you when you made a mistake or slip and fail. Java does. C++ is just a weird language. It's like a language that you know what it's saying, but you have to make sure you interpret its wording correctly sometimes. It's like one of those languages where you should be able to understand, but it throws in weird words that it makes you second guess and think. Tried creating a macro in C++ and gave up the moment I opened the program. Oh, that's funny. I was definitely out of my league, yeah. Anyway, StreamBot also has the option for JSON code as well as which is rarely utilized. I don't think I never really programmed with JSON code before. I think that's what my roommate Mike uses, JSON code, which it's a weird type of code. I don't fully consider it coding. Is JSON the thing? I think yeah, JSON is the thing I'm thinking of. I'm just gonna. Yeah. It's somewhat what I'm thinking of. Yeah, it's not really coding. It's like it's formatting, really. Yeah, it's just formatting. Reading, writing. Yeah, no, that's what JSON should be. Yeah, I remember using it for like extracting data and stuff. Yeah, it's the configurations. Yeah, that's like it's not fully coding because it's weird things. Like it is technically coding, but I don't consider it like the full-on coding. I consider it more of like a like I guess like you're saying, like it's the one that helps configure and sets up stuff. So yeah, it's a weird coding program, really. But hey, I'm not hating it. Whatever coding, because like I always I like that any coding language that you learn, there's always the basic of coding languages, and there's always like the certain basic rules that every single coding language is unique, has like utilizes with all other codes. And so once you learn a coding language, then you learn the basics of some of those coding languages, and then you can kind of just, all you then need to know is like just like learning a different language, just memorize what each setup, like of the setup of the sentences or like the words, what each of them mean or what do you need to use. So really it's just that of like all the coding languages have like a basic thing to set up for. Yeah, everything is needed for something. Yeah, so yeah, coding is unique like that, and honestly it's a lot easier for me to wrap my head around than like learning a new language, because learning a new language, it's like while there's basic stuff to learn, it just seems a lot more complex than like a coding language. But then that's how my brain works. It could be easier for other people than learning coding. I know that coding is not for everyone. I know that one of my friend Sean tried that before, and he definitely was not into a lot of that coding. So yeah, it's I wish you luck, Frog, with all your coding and bots and everything, and all that. Yeah, I feel you. Yeah, I do have friends who I've made with my coding skills, but I haven't talked to them in a long time. A lot of them. Some I wish I stayed connected with. I didn't, and that's some of it's on my end because I just didn't reach a. I'm interested to feel. Yeah, and when you get through a lot of the coding, you'll get to feel all the rewarding factors of what coding gives. It's difficult. It's not going to be easy, as Yves and I has said, but it will definitely be a rewarding thing once you get through to the very, very end. So yeah. Yeah, no, and I do hope that everything goes well with that. Yeeves, yeah, and Yeeves, if you ever decide to get a Switch, let me know, and we can play some games as well. I still need to finish up some games so I can move on to some other games. I do wish Pikmin was like online, so I could totally play that with you. Cause it's like yeah, for sure, dude, for sure. Because like I remember with challenge mode with Pikmin 2 and like challenge mode with Pikmin 3, I always co-opted it with my brother because it was a lot of fun doing those. So, but no, Pikmin is not an online game, which I am legit sad about. Anyway, I will see you guys later. I'm gonna end it off my stream. Gone long enough. It's already like 10. It doesn't feel like a 10:30 time, but I do need to get some stuff done before I call it quits for today. So yeah, I appreciate you all. Have a good rest of your night. Thanks, Eve, for dropping by. Thanks, Frog, for dropping by too. I wish you luck on your streams and everything. Glad you came back, buddy. I really hope to see everyone else also come back at some point. Yeah, we kept you an hour later than intended. Probably, but you know, again, I like chatting. I like chatting about different things and all that stuff. I can go on chatting for hours and all that. Till next time, but yeah. Until next time, Frog. But yeah, I hope to see you again. I hope to see you guys another time. We hope maybe play some games later or just chat. I hope to see a lot of other people later on. Haven't seen or chatted in a while. I hope everyone takes care of you guys' self. And as always, I'll see you guys in another stream or in mine or someone else's. We're not going to raid tonight. I'm just going to end it off here and then just chill for the rest of the night, as Bex would say, and all that stuff. So, yeah. That's good. Yeah. Take care, and I'll see you guys later for sure. Bye.